Mantras of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says to be constantly governed by the divine means a constant aspiration for that is the first thing. Next, a sort of stillness within and a drawing back from the outward action into the stillness and a sort of listening expectancy, not for a song, but for the spiritual feeling or direction of the consciousness that comes through the psychic. With always our love and blessings, says our Lord, Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 4, The Book of Birth and Quest, Canto 1, The Birth and the Childhood of the Flame, page 397. A Maenad of the cycles of desire, around a light she must not dare to touch. Hastening towards a far-off, unknown goal, Earth followed the endless journey of the sun. A mind but half awake in the swing of the void, on the bosom of inconscience, dreamed out life and bore this finite world of thought and deed across the immobile trance of the infinite. A vast immutable silence with her ran, prisoner of speed upon a jeweled wheel. She communed with the mystic heart in space. Amid the ambiguous stillness of the stars, she moved towards some undisclosed event, and her rhythm measured the long rill of time in ceaseless motion round the purple rim. Day after day sped by like colored spokes, and through a glamour of shifting hues of air, the seasons drew in linked significant dance, the symbol pageant of the changing year. Across the burning languor of the soil, paced summer with his pomp of violent noons, and stamped his tyranny of torrid light, and the blue seal of a great burnished sky. Words of our Divine Mother taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother book. Some answers from the Mother. Topic: Letters to a Sadhak under Series 2 of 1931 to 1940. Page 19. Sweet Mother, one single drop of thy divine love can transform this suffering into an ocean of delight. Oh, let all tears be wiped away, all suffering relieved, all anguish dispelled, and let a calm serenity dwell in every heart. I am sad, have pity on me. O thou who revealest all suffering and dispersest all ignorance, O thou, the supreme healer, have pity on me. Break this resistance which fills me with anguish. Why this night? For this, our Divine Mother says, I could give many explanations. The how and the why can easily be described, but is it really necessary? This is not what heals. Healing comes not from the head, but from the heart. To understand is good, but to will is better. Self love is the great obstacle. Divine love is the great remedy, says our Divine Mother. Next topic from page 38. The sadhak says, my sweet mother, you are everywhere. Remain with me always. For this, our Divine Mother says, my dear child, you are always in my arms, and always I hold you close to my heart to comfort and protect you, to strengthen and illumine you. Never for a moment do I leave you, and I am sure that if you are a little attentive, you will clearly feel the warmth of my arms around your shoulders. Your mother. Next question taken from page 46. Question, sweet mother, what does listening to the voice mean? Is it listening to words that are pronounced? A ready-made sentence, write down what is there in the estimate. Want to disturb my mind, I don't know where it came from. Was it my own thought expressed in words, or was it known as voice? How can these things be distinguished, sweet mother? For this, our Divine Mother says, it was obviously an inner voice. One rarely hears the sound of the words, but rather the message is expressed as words in the mind, or sometimes merely as a feeling in the heart, says our Divine Mother. Next words taken from series third, written between 1931 and 1949, Letters to My Little Smile, page 59. To my little smile, one of the first children admitted to the Sri Aurobindo ashram, she came at the age of 14. Little Smile worked for many years embroidering clothes for the mother and later became one of her personal attendants. She began writing to the mother at the age of 17. Our Divine Mother writes to her, my dear little Smile, you must not lose patience or courage. Everything will turn out all right. The condition you were in while embroidering the silence flower cannot return as it was before, for in this world things never repeat themselves in exactly the same way. Everything changes and progresses. But the state of mental peace you have known is nothing compared to the one much deeper and completer which you will come to know. You must keep your aspiration intact, your will to conquer all obstacles. You must have an unshakable faith in the Divine's grace and the sure victory. Sri Aurobindo is working for your transformation. How can there be doubt that he will triumph? With always my love, says our Divine Mother. Next topic taken from series 5 between 1932 and 1937, written by our Divine Mother to the child in page 116. My little mother, peace, peace. Give me your unalloyed peace and make me conscious of you. For this, our Divine Mother writes on 16th March 1934 and says, peace be with you, my child, the peace of certitude and of confidence. Confidence in my love which will never leave you. And the child writes, "My little mother, why does this difficulty come? Do I open myself to it, or is it something else? Sweet mother, after having coming so close to you, why does it come?" For this, our Divine Mother says, "You should not speak to others about what I wrote or say to you because they become jealous. And their jealousy creates a bad atmosphere which falls back on you and brings you back the difficulty. Because you spoke, you opened yourself and received it perhaps without even being aware of it." The child writes, "My sweet mother, my heart wants to run to your feet. It wants to lose itself in you. This is what I want, but have I done it? I want to be close to your heart. I want. But is it possible? Make me peaceful. Give me the taste of your divine presence." For this, our Divine Mother says, "Yes, my dear child, it is entirely possible since you want it sincerely. It will come to you. It will come to be so. You will feel yourself always close to my heart, cradled in my arms, and peace will fill your being and make you strong and joyful." Next, the words are taken from Series 6, written between 1933 and 1949, to a young sadhak in the ashram, page 154. Question, sweet mother, what does the divine want of me? For this, our Divine Mother says, "The divine wants that you first find yourself, that with your true being, your psychic being, you master and govern the lower being, and then you will be quite naturally take your place, and then you will quite naturally take your place in the great divine world." Question, sweet mother, where is my true being? For this, our Divine Mother says, "Farther within or higher above, on the other side of the emotions beyond the mind." For this, the child says, "I feel indignant, mother. I cannot find myself as soon as I try to do so. I find nothing but this body, which is like a lyre of banal thoughts and lawless desires." For this, our Divine Mother says, "One must persist without getting discouraged. First of all, refuse to recognize the body as one's self indeed, what it would be without the feelings and thoughts which animate it, an inert, lifeless mass." Question, sweet mother, what is it that will help me always remember that I am living a spiritual life? For this, our Divine Mother says, "The awareness of the Divine's presence in all things and always." Question, sweet mother, you have said in your conversations that to prepare oneself for the yoga, one must first be all conscious. To be conscious of the divine presence in us is our goal. I do not see how I can be conscious from the beginning. For this, our Divine Mother says, "I have not said conscious of the divine presence. I said conscious. That means one does not live in total ignorance of what happens within oneself." For this, the child says, "I cannot accept all that happens with a calm heart." For this, our Divine Mother says, "This is, however, indispensable for the yoga. And he who has so great an aim as to be unified with the divine and to manifest, how can he be affected by all the futilities and foolishness of life?" Question, sweet mother, what is it that divides my being? For this, our Divine Mother says, "The conflict is between that which aspires towards consciousness, the sattvic part of the being, and that which lets itself be invaded and governed by the inconscience, the tamasic part of the being that which pushes upwards and that which pushes downwards, and therefore is a subject to all outer influences." Sweet mother, guide my steps, illumine my mind, and do not leave I pray any distance between you and me, for this our Divine Mother says, I too do not want any distance between us. But the relation must be a true one that is based upon in the divine consciousness. Open your heart yet wider, yet better, and the distance will disappear, says our Divine Mother. Sweet Mother, may my whole being be only that love which wants to give itself and which leads me to you. For this, our Divine Mother says, keep this aspiration and you're sure of victory. You will love me one day with a love which fills you with strength and with joy, says our Divine Mother. Question, sweet mother, why is it difficult to feel your presence constantly near me? In the depths of my heart, I know well that without you there is no meaning in life for me. Yet my mind lifts or flits hither and hither as soon as it finds the slightest occasion. For this, our Divine Mother says, it is precisely because of this that you lose the feeling of the Divine's presence. I am always with you, and to become conscious of the inner presence, is one of the most important points of the sadhana. Presence is not a matter of faith or of mental imagination, it is a fact, absolutely concrete and as real and tangible to the consciousness as the most material phenomenon. Question, my beloved mother, if only I could convince my ignorant being that it is possible to find you in the center of my heart. For this, our Divine Mother says it is not a question of convincing your heart. You must get the experience of this presence, and then you will become aware that in its depth of your heart, you have always been conscious of this presence. Sweet Mother, remove me from all obscurity which blinds me and be always with me. For this, our Divine Mother says, I am in every thought, in every aspiration which you turn towards me. For if you were not always present in my consciousness, you won't be able to think of me. So you may be sure of my presence. I add my blessings. Sweet Mother, how shall I find the source of that love which will make me feel that the Divine's presence is always and everywhere? For this, our Divine Mother says, you must find the Divine first, whether in yourself by interiorization and concentration, or in Sri Aurobindo and me through love and self-giving. Once you have found the Divine, you will naturally see Him in all things and everywhere. There are two ways of uniting with the Divine, says our Divine Mother. One is to concentrate in the heart and go deep enough to find there His presence. The other is to fling oneself in His arms, to nestle there as a child nestles in its mother's arms with a complete surrender. And of the two, the later seems to me the easier, says our Divine Mother. Question, who is there to hold me back far from you? For this, our Divine Mother says, you yourself. It is quite incorrect that I wish to remain far from you, but to be near me, you must climb up close beside me and not expect me to come down so far. Question, sweet mother, do not leave my heart empty. I am always in your heart, says our Divine Mother. The psychic being is constantly and invariably in contact with the Divine and never loses this contact. The Divine is constantly present in the psychic being, and the later is quite conscious of this, says our Divine Mother. Om Shri Rai Namaha. Om Sarvaya Sarveshwaraya Sarvapatay Sarvasankaraya Aravindaya Namaha Aravindaya Namaha. Meditations, April 4th, 1914. O Lord, my adoration rises ardently to Thee. All my being is an aspiration, a flame consecrated to Thee. Lord, Lord, my sweet Master, it is Thou who livest and willest in me. This body is Thy instrument, this will is Thy servant, this intelligence is Thy tool, and the whole being is only Thyself.